The United States government has just made a move that could reshape the entire crypto landscape, and whether you mine Pi every day or you're simply watching from a distance, this changes everything. A new proposal called the Bitcoin for America Act would allow U.S. citizens to use Bitcoin to pay federal taxes without being hit with capital gains tax. Even more shocking, the government would then hold that Bitcoin is part of its national reserves, treating it almost like digital gold. This is one of the strongest signs of crypto acceptance the world has ever seen, and whenever the largest economy on the planet normalizes cryptocurrency on this level, the effects ripple across every major project, including Pi Network. If Pi's open mainnet ends up launching around the same time this bill gains momentum, the timing could create an explosive environment. Imagine millions of new investors entering the market because of fresh government support, billions of dollars flowing into digital assets, and Pi suddenly becoming tradable in that exact moment. That kind of alignment can turn a quiet community project into a global story overnight. It's the kind of perfect storm pioneers have been waiting years to see. Before we get deeper into how this bill impacts Pi's future, make sure you're connected on Telegram and Facebook because that's where I share urgent alerts the moment something happens. When it comes to Pi, even a single announcement can move the entire market, and the next couple of months are filled with major events you do not want to miss. Now, why does this US crypto bill matter so much for Pi? Whenever a major government openly supports cryptocurrency, confidence across the market shoots upward. Investors who were previously unsure start buying, institutions take crypto more seriously, and countries around the world feel pressure to respond. If the United States begins stocking Bitcoin like a strategic asset, other nations may feel forced to follow. That massive wave of demand wouldn't just raise Bitcoin, history shows it lifts promising altcoin projects too. And Pi, with millions of engaged users spread across nearly every country, is positioned to benefit if the environment becomes more bullish. The next few months are critical. Two things need close attention: the open mainnet timeline and the progress of this new US bill. If these two events land close together, Pi enters the market at a time when enthusiasm is high, confidence is rising, and new money is flowing in every direction. That combination could shape Pi's future for years. Now let's talk about Pi's wild price behavior during 2025 because understanding what happened helps us understand what could come next. Even though Pi is not officially trading on major exchanges yet, several platforms list IOU versions, basically promises to deliver real Pi later once mainnet launches. Early this year, excitement pushed those IOU prices up to around $165, driven by rumors that Pi would soon appear on big exchanges. When those listings didn't materialize, the price collapsed dramatically, falling all the way to just a few cents by October. Many pioneers panicked, questioning whether all the years of mining were worth it. But something interesting happened. After hitting rock bottom, Pi's IOU value slowly climbed again and stabilized in the 20-cent range. That recovery isn't random, it shows the community still believes in the project's long-term vision. A community that refuses to disappear even after a huge price crash is often the backbone of projects that eventually succeed. But it also proves how sensitive Pi is to news. Positive updates make the price surge. Delays or uncertainty push it down instantly. The real turning point, of course, will be the open mainnet. Once Pi becomes fully functional and exchange listings appear, that's when real price discovery begins. If the technology is strong and the launch goes smoothly, Pi could experience meaningful growth. If the launch is troubled or exchanges hesitate, the price could struggle. The next stage is make or break. Analysts have several predictions for Pi's near-term future. In a fairly optimistic scenario, Pi could climb toward the 40 to 50 cent range as the year ends if momentum builds and resistance levels break. Looking further ahead into 2026, estimates range widely, from under $1 to several dollars, depending entirely on how well the open mainnet performs and what the broader crypto market looks like. Some technical projections point to early targets around 80 cents, then past $1 and toward $2 if the project catches real momentum. Under perfect conditions, a run toward $2 or even $3 within 2026 is possible. But there are risks. A rough launch, technical issues, or rejection by major exchanges could push Pi back under 15 cents or even lower. These IOU prices aren't the real market yet, but they do show investor confidence. The true test begins once Pi is tradable on places like Binance or Coinbase. You'll also hear a lot about something called GCV, Global Consensus Value. This is a community-agreed price used inside the enclosed network. Some pioneers set extremely high values as part of their vision. These numbers aren't realistic for the open market, but GCV helps keep the community united and focused on long-term goals rather than quick selling. Once Pi enters the real market, actual buyers and sellers will determine the price, not community votes. GCV is about belief, not valuation. So can Pi make people rich? Possibly. If someone mined 1,000 Pi and the market price eventually reached $1, they'd have $1,000. If it climbed to $10, that becomes $10,000. Many pioneers hold thousands of Pi, and even moderate prices could become life-changing amounts. But everything depends on execution. Without real utility, apps, adoption, and exchange support, Pi won't reach those levels. The good news is that pioneers risk nothing but time. There's no financial loss in mining, only potential reward. Pi still faces challenges, delays, regulatory uncertainty, and the difficulty of turning millions of users into a functioning ecosystem. But the project isn't dead, it's moving and evolving. The next year will reveal whether Pi transforms into something powerful or ends up as another unrealized vision. My honest advice, keep mining, but stay grounded. Treat Pi as a possibility, not a guarantee. Don't neglect your real goals or other opportunities while waiting for Pi to explode. If it succeeds, incredible. If not, you lose nothing but a few seconds of tapping each day. If this breakdown helped you, hit that like button. Tell me in the comments whether you're still hopeful or starting to lose patience. I read every message. Subscribe and turn on notifications for real, balanced updates. And make sure you're following my Telegram and Facebook pages for instant alerts when big news drops. The story of Pi Network is still unfolding, and whether it ends in celebration or disappointment, we're experiencing it together. Stay sharp, stay balanced, and keep mining with purpose.